Today we are going to be talking about the laptop rule. This is a phrase that I coined that I think can really help you deal with materialism practically in your life, and I think it'll have some really great implications to other areas as well. So, what is the laptop rule? The basic meaning or explanation of the laptop rule is, for me, I want to own nothing more expensive than my laptop in this stage of my life. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and when I talked to my friends about this, they did think I was crazy because they said, Sam, your car is worth more than your laptop. And I was like, okay, yes. But if I lived in New York, I wouldn't have a car. I would use the subway, and my most expensive possession would be a laptop. So let's just imagine that I lived in New York. But right now, that doesn't, hold true because I have a car. But with that said, I think a car is crazy. If I didn't live in LA, I would get rid of my car right away because you wouldn't need it in another city that has great public transport. I hate having to pay maintenance, having to pay everything on a car. Gas was like $2,000 last year, probably more than that. I was spending like $500 a month. So yeah, crazy. I think it was $6,000. But anyway, that's a side point. So that's the laptop rule, right? I don't want to own anything more expensive than my laptop, the thing that I use to make money online and to work on business. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, right? Sam, you want to own a house one day? Yes, my house will eventually be worth more than my laptop. But that's not the stage of life I'm in, and I think the laptop rule is really more a reflection on my view of minimalism. Let me give you an example. So the other day I was gifted a $600 jacket. I didn't pay $600. It was $600 back in the day. It's a Vinci. It's a nice brand here in LA. And the other day I was walking dogs and I got it dirty and I was really upset. I was like, this is a really nice jacket. I don't want to get dirty. And that really made me think that when you buy things, they own you, okay? Not a lot of people talk about this, but there's an opportunity cost to buying expensive things. Let's take a boat for an example, okay? Let's say you buy a $100,000 boat. Not only did that boat cost you $100,000 and the slip fees for however long you're going to have it, maintenance, whatever, it also cost your time. So all the weekends that you're using to do that, nobody takes that into account, right? So that boat costs way more than $100,000. Over the course of the time that you have it, it may cost $300,000, $400,000, depending on the time you put into it, all the other expenses. Not many people think like that. So that boat controls a lot of your life because it's, taking up a lot of your time. It's just something that you have to worry about. I think, I forget which rapper said it, but more money, more problems. It's been true for so long. The idea of this rule is that you don't have any like nice expensive items. It's just stuff, okay? I remember when I first learned this lesson too. I was a lifeguard back in the day, and I had this I thought was a nice watch. It was a $150 fashion watch that I was gifted, and I remember dropping it on the floor deck of the pool, and I was so bummed out about it. And I would never forget. My lifeguard instructor was like, "Dude, it's just stuff. Don't worry about it." That's when I really started to sink into me, and when I really started to understand way back in the day. I didn't fully understand it until later, but he was right. It's just stuff. It's not going to matter in 20 years. And I think that's why our generation is so much more prone to spend money on experiences, food, travel, rather than buying material possessions. I'd say for the most part, we are less materialistic than the generations before us, but I still think obviously some people have a problem with it. But yeah, so I think that's kind of what I mean when I talk about this laptop rule. Now, that's going to change. I'm not going to always abide by this rule. I do eventually want to buy a nice watch one day as a milestone for business or whatever that might be. But then I think, okay, I'm going to have to worry about wearing this nice watch around. What if it gets hurt or what if it gets broken because I hit it on something? And that's something you really have to think about, and I know it would really bother me. So I don't need that type of headache when I'm at this point in my life where I'm, trying to create a career, be successful financially, save money. I think just the less that you own, that's of value, the more free your head is, the more money you have to invest and put into other places, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I wear $7 H&M shirts that I'm not too bummed if they get dirty about. So that's the kind of mentality I think that like really frees my mind and allows me to be creative, because I'm not worrying about all these material possessions that I have, whether I scuff them up or not. And I think it's a really freeing feeling to be in that place where you are not worried about your possessions. You're worried about creating and focusing on financial goals, living under your means, so that one day, yes, you can have the nice car, the nice house, and it'll all have been worth it, and you took your time slowly to get there. So yeah, that's what I think about the laptop rule. Let me know what you think about it. I know it's kind of a crazy idea, and it doesn't really play it true. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of things like, Sam, you need to buy whatever, a couch. My couch was probably $1,000 more expensive than my laptop, whatever. But let me know your thoughts on the laptop rule. I appreciate you watching this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching.